One more time. Hey everyone, this is Chris Ignacio, and thank you for joining this workshop presentation of Getting Through It from La Mama's Great Jones Repertory Company, directed by resident artist Dan Safer. Tonight's showing includes a series of 15 rounds of structured improvisations with a teeny tiny bit of choreo. The performers were each just now randomly assigned one of 12 possible roles. Hey everyone, this is Chris Ignacio. With our stage as a grid of 12 squares occupied by 12 performers with 15 impending tasks, what you see tonight is one of 1,600 possible variations that none of them are truly prepared for. So please feel encouraged to actively post comments if you're watching on Facebook Live. They would love the feedback. And, oh, hey, John.
Hi. Thank you, Chris. Getting Through It is an experiment in remote ensemble performance making. It is mediated community and aesthetic inquiry, full of the urgent presence of pandemic living and civil protest. It is improvisation, autonomy, and collective action. It is choreography, inquiry, and chaos, as only Great Jones Rep can do. Under the direction of La Mama resident artist Dan Safer, 12 artists reconcile what it is to go live and stay alive by thinking inside the box. Saturday's showing, this showing, shares the current state of the company's exploration of how to make group work amidst relocations, unrest, and dropped Zoom calls.
Round 1. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Thank you. Round 2. Go.
I woke up, it was about 6, and then I said no, and then I went back to sleep, and I guess I got up around 8 and decided to read some of my book. So I'm up to the last chapter in my book. So I read half of the chapter, but then I decided to leave the rest of the chapter to later. And I got out of bed. I went to the bathroom. I brushed my teeth. I made coffee. I cut up some papaya. And I ate the papaya. And I drank my coffee. And I read the first section of the newspaper and the art section of the Saturday paper and the real estate section. And then I went in and I took a shower and then I got dressed and then I got ready to go outside and then I went outside. I went down the street and I decided I would check at City Hall and see what was going on at City Hall, and everyone was there, and I wondered if they were going to be okay in the rain. And then I walked to Union Square. I was looking for a certain kind of plant, um, ground tomatoes, but
Thank you. Round 3. Go.
I'm going to write my name with the bridge of my nose, very small. Let's see. R I S.
Very formal and a little conservative.
Osberg, you know.
Not that great, not that bad. I just knows you can do better.
The inner essence
I
of
can
that.
tell you're really working out that nasal capacity.
The subtlety, you know, the subtlety of that just.
It wasn't terrible.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. Everybody. Round 4. Go.
I'm going to write my name horizontal, big, and far.
I loved it. I loved it, Kitty.
I like it with the music a lot. It's got a lot of like energy and excitement.
It's
Seems like you were having fun.
celebratory and transgressive at the same time. You know, I felt it
It
was
felt like a club dance. Like a club dance for our time.
and Ermanina Molinari.
have better things
Yeah.
to say.
Full name, which does have any.
Okay, no, it was really great.
In
I'm
my-
gonna go on to the next
in the
round.
gallery.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go to the next round now.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. Round 5. And go.
Hey, so today in American history, let's see, we already heard this earlier today, but 1833, Prudence Crandall, a white woman, was arrested for having an academy for black women. Today is Paul Laurence Dunbar's birthday. If you don't know who Paul Laurence Dunbar is, you need to look it up because he was an incredibly influential and well-recognized poet who wrote a piece called "We Wear the Mask," and he happens to be black. Let's see. 1880. Helen Keller became the first blind person to get a college degree. 1972, Atari was invented. Go Space Invaders. And how about, let's say 2018, millennial Alessandria Ortiz-Cortez wins the primary and proves all of us wrong about that generation.
Thanks. Round 6. Go.
Okay. Let's see, I'm afraid of, well, I think I'm afraid of a lot of things. I'm afraid of people that I love dying, and having to live with their absence is something that really scares me. I think I'm really afraid of heights, and I'm really afraid of falling, which is a little ironic because I am a dancer by trade, and I also spent a lot of time rock climbing and climbing really, really, really high cliffs. And both of those activities have involved me being extremely high and falling down a lot. I think sometimes I'm afraid of cockroaches, but it's usually only if John is in the apartment with me. If he's not here and I'm by myself, then I'm not so afraid of cockroaches. So it's conditional fear. I'm afraid of war. I'm afraid of how racism is affecting our country right now, and I'm afraid of what happens if people who have hope don't persevere in our world.
Thanks. Round 7. Ready? Go.
I hope that everything will be fine after this pandemic. I hope we go back to being healthy and not worrying about getting this virus. I'm hoping that this is a time of enlightenment where people will realize that we have to take care of each other, take care of the earth, take care of the animals, take care of everything in the water, just take care of everything, and life will be just wonderful. We won't have any problems and sirens of ambulances and fire trucks, and everything will just be beautiful. I hope we'll come to this kind of understanding that all of us are the same. All of us feel the same. I hope that we will realize this.
Round 8. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Really nice. Round 9. Go.
Can you spotlight Poogene, please? Spotlight Poogene.
Are you happy right now?
Yes.
Do you like being alone?
Yes.
Do you believe in people?
Yes.
Do you use expensive hair products?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy colonoscopies?
Yeah.
Do you have a chode?
Yeah.
Do you want your own children?
Yeah.
Are you envious of people?
Yeah.
Oh my. That was fabulous. Round 10. Go.
And take it back to gallery.
The question of the day is, tell us your favorite memory about someone you love. I was in Ellen Stewart on the first tour, and she just yelled at a bunch of us for not buying the guy's vegetables and just using his bathroom. And to prove a point, she yelled at us and then went to his vegetable garden and sat down and took a piss in his garden.
I was out to breakfast with my family when I was little, and we were playing a game while we were waiting for our food called Animal Guessing Game, which is guessing animals. And, you know, my brother was much more into animals than anybody in the family. And my dad wasn't so into animals, but he got an animal that he was going to be good, that was going to be good, and he said, "Oh, I got one. They'll never guess vole." And then he was like, "Oh."
My favorite memories of some of my loved ones is understanding how they passed away. But if I had to pick one to explain an extent, one year I went uh, on vacation during the summer to work. Well, I didn't go to work. I went on vacation. But while I was on vacation, I was completing a summer school assignment, and as was often the case for advanced students, and I was working on several. I can't remember what I was exactly working on, but anyway, I decided to listen to Usher's 8701 album to complete my entire paper. And that was really the only way how I got through writing that paper because I hate writing papers. And I think my family understands that about me.
I remember the person that was in my life most of my life. I used to listen to his lectures whenever I did something really bad. And he really had a lot of good advice for me. And there were good lessons. He only took the belt to me once. And I did something really, really, really bad. But I helped him one time, when he was in a little bit of trouble. And I won the lottery, won a little bit of money. And so I helped out in a particular situation. And I miss him today. He's not around anymore. It's hard. I want to hear his lectures. I want to hear him say, Albicenia.
I also have an Ellen Stewart story. It's in Greece, in Petropolis, when we're waiting to start Electra. And someone took a picture with a flash and everything stopped. And she just says, "Who is flashing? Who is flashing?" And she kept doing it. She said, "We will not start the show until the person who is flashing identifies himself." And then this man, this 45-year-old man in the third row, like raises his hand. And then she said, "Sir, why were you flashing?" And he's a photographer for the newspaper. So he said, "Because that's my job." Everyone in the audience went, "Oh, ha, ha." And then she said, "Honey, if I didn't tell you to do it, it's not your job."
Wow.
So I just had a of being in Arizona on the Navajo reservation with June Maida, and they had us living in a hogan, and Maida took it upon himself to keep sure that the fire was going because it got cold at night, and one night in the middle of the night. I must have been sleeping, and all of a sudden I woke up and I heard Maida say, "Oh, shit! It's snow!"
I'm thinking of a time, must have been in middle school, just riding in the car with my mom, and we're like, you're both looking the same way and you're not looking at each other, so you can kind of have conversations that you might not have otherwise. And this particular one, we were listening to NPR and something came on the radio about abortion, and we were just talking like, how do you feel about that? What do you think about that? And it was just it was a moment of such openness and thoughtfulness and respect that I really enjoyed. It was one of a number of conversations, but that's what's kind of coming to my mind.
I remember being younger and being in West Virginia and walking back from my neighbor's house with my parents. And it was like kind of late at night. The sky was dark and there was a full moon in the sky. And I think maybe my mom was like, "Wow, look, the moon is so beautiful." And my dad was like, "Oh, Kim, like go ahead and go unlock the door." And I got like 5 steps in front of him and he just yelled, "Looks like a full moon tonight," and pulled down his pants and mooned my mom who was walking behind him. And I love that memory.
When I was a kid, my my sister and I would spend a lot of time together. Like she was basically the person who raised me in a way, even though she's not that much older than I am. And I was applying to these middle schools because the zone school that I would have gone to in the neighborhood where I'm from, it was it was like very dangerous. A lot of like gang culture and police at the door and metal detectors and all these things. And I was a very kind of sensitive child, and we all knew that that would not be a good place for me. So I was applying to all these different middle schools and didn't really hear back from any of them. And so we kind of just decided that I would go to the school that I was supposed to go to as a zone school. But my sister decided on the first day of school to call one last time to one of the schools that we hadn't heard from, and they picked up the phone, they called, and they said, yeah, John Maria Gutierrez, we've been trying to reach out to him. It's like he was accepted, but I guess that our information for him was incorrect, and we haven't been able to make contact. We started school a week ago. Why isn't he here? And I think sometimes about if she hadn't made that phone call, I think maybe she was like 16 years old. And if she hadn't made that phone call, I don't know where I'd be in my life today.
I feel like, well, my mother passed away, and I feel like I'm getting to know her more because each day I think about her, and it's just some way, like the way I'm making a cheese and mustard sandwich, or just some way that she would have taken so much pleasure in bumping into some stranger on a road and striking up a conversation, that I feel like one of the biggest gifts of my life was her by example, but also continuing to get to know her through my own days without her.
I automatically think of my mom, but I actually have had so much time to see her for a second that I think I have to talk about people I really, really love. And so it's more like a recent memory from just sitting at the table with my kids, who are Zoomers. They're the next generation. And they were adamantly disagreeing with a stance that I had. And that made me realize that my interest in reforming the police was way too conservative. And so I love my kids so much for being more radical in their heart and souls than I am.
Unmute.
You're muted.
I remember the days with Genji when we were in Venedig. We just walked around because we didn't have any money and we couldn't eat, but we had sandwiches. I think Ellen prepared for us, and we walked around hours and hours, and it was so beautiful, and the city was so great. Yeah, I remember that one of the most beautiful and romantic vacation I had with him.
Thank you. Round 11, go. Thanks. Round 12, go.
I am not super interested in being remembered, honestly, but I hope that the things that I care about and the things that I'm fighting for change in, that they change after I'm gone.
I would like to be remembered in the way I'm connected to my grandparents and my parents and me and friends and people who've become family. So in stories.
I would like to be remembered as a loving daughter and a very, very caring sister, inspiring teacher, and also I would like to be remembered as a good friend for the difficult days. And I would like to be remembered that this person hates the Trump administration and wished one day that working with Black Panthers, and also would like to do revolution one day or be part of it, even after being dead.
I would like to be remembered metaphorically as a switch hitter, a player you could put in any position. And but man, she had a really good arm when you put her at third.
I would love to be remembered as somebody who didn't believe in the impossible, and that when they hear that word, it's an opportunity to prove someone wrong or to prove to other people that they can also do impossible things.
I would like to be remembered as the guy who got stoned during a live stream performance.
I would like to be remembered as someone who never gave up on the past, who tried to live in the present, and who worked his butt off to reimagine the future.
I would like to keep learning for my whole life till the end of my days, so I would like to be remembered as a lifetime learner.
I would like to be remembered as someone who sent you an unexpected and random text message with little explanation.
I would like to be remembered how people wish to remember me. However, I believe that if I have a choice as to how I would like to be remembered, I would like to be remembered as a person who is polite. I would also like to be remembered as a person who is kind, as a person who attempts to achieve the impossible, even when the impossible seems impossible. I would also just like to be remembered, though, as a professional. And I like to be remembered as a person who takes their professional business seriously. Therefore, if you come into encounterance with my professional business, I kindly reserve the right to still curse you the F out. And that's me being polite right now. I didn't curse live. I said F out.
I would like to be remembered as a good artist. I like to be remembered for my work, that I really put my whole heart and spirit into whatever it is that I have done. Yeah.
Round 13, go.
Mute.
Thank you, Maura.
Thank you. I remember George. I remember George giving Ellen Stewart's funeral mass. I remember Martin Luther King Jr. Day, freezing January, and thinking, wow, he hit the big time. I bet St. Patrick's is like Broadway in the Jesuit circuit. But I really do remember actually how beautiful it was and how many times I've seen him bring her spirit back to us. I also remember that I use him for soul cred. I guess it's like street cred with my dad. Because I'm always like, yo, I'm friends with the Jesuit. And somehow I guess that helps my dad not think that I'm going to burn in hell. I remember Onni. My very first Great Jones Rep show was a tour. So my very first show was in Seoul, Korea. for Trojan women. And so I went early because I was in Vietnam and I was sharing a room with Ellen, and we went somewhere and ate. We were being given silkworms. And I just remember Onni looking at me and making like the driest joke. And I didn't really know her yet other than a few rehearsals, but I feel like that's just been Onni ever since. I remember Chris. I remember I remember Chris spanking me in Pilates. And I know he's a really good actor because that was probably a miserable scene for him to have to enact with me. I remember how sweet he was, but also how sharp the sting of his hands on my bare ass was. I remember Sheree. I remember the first time, and John mentioned this recently too, and I remember the first time I heard her Cassandra in Great Jones, at 47 Great Jones, and this moment in the studio where the world transformed around me, and I felt the burden of prophetic madness. Valois, how this, it's like some of you, yeah, it's been like decades and decades with some of these people. What's gonna be my Valois memory? What's coming? There's too many. I remember Valois falling at the feet of an unnamed demon in Kmart. Yeah.
What?
I need to go into Kmart then.
In Astor Place. I need another. Yeah, I was like, do I need? I mean,
I like that.
It's hard for me not to. Okay, good. We'll stick with that one. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about Valois's.
Oh yeah.
Valois's tits in Panorama. So let's leave it at that. Let's see. Kim Savvy. Oh shit! I remember seeing Kim Savvy's tits at Trojan Women. Sorry, we shouldn't have left this job to me. But they're really beautiful. I remember Kim Savvy in the future, swimming in the Atlantic Ocean with me very soon. I remember how much and how quickly I loved her as a sister and as family. So yeah. Kim Ema. Another so many memories, but really like a really fun one in the mom zone is like bringing my kids to come find you inside of Sugar. The treats truck was a magical moving mystery truck. Like tracking and trying to remember and making sure we knew which day of the week Kim was going to be near the Barnes and Noble on 86th and Broadway, so we could go with our cards and get some ridiculous amount of beautifully baked goods. That's a fun one. And watching her on TV, like baking goods, and being like, Kim's gonna be on, we gotta watch this. Zishan. Oh, sis, you thought I was going to talk about us fighting in the early years before shows, but you just reminded me. I remember the day Genji died, and I remember that I went down to the annex and I went into the apartment, and I remember the sound of you screaming. I remember touching the back of your chair because I was too scared to come around and face your pain. And So I'm going to remember how fucking strong and beautiful and revolutionary you are in your heart, and how much you carry with you. Mattie. Mattie was on the front cover of the New York Times as the poster girl for police practice of kettling at a protest. And it's such a radical image of her in my head, of just her like screaming back at these cops, and it's immortalized and it feels iconic, like history book imagery. So that's a good one, but the switch hitter stuff is also reminding me of some other things. But I'm gonna hold on to the power of that particular image. John, you coming to the ocean too. John, I remember the first time I met you, Pilate, and I remember watching you moving around and doing stuff, and I remember that you, as we were talking about Pilate and the sort of conditions and the hubris and stuff, I remember that really early on, like maybe the first day, you brought up race, and you brought up like Black Lives Matter related contextual thinking for us to actually consider as a way to work on this. And I just remember at that moment being like, okay, this is kin right here. And I remember that got dismissed because it was like a European director who didn't like really want to pay attention to that and hadn't examined his own white supremacist sort of thinking and exploitation of bodies of color. But because of that, like the next day when we had to do like Orestes and Electra, I was like, hey, try this experiment out with me. And the experiment was like just a contact improv thing. But then Ivica was like, no, turn it into a fight. And we fought. I mean, I was like, I'm older than his mom, but I'm going to fucking take this kid down. And I couldn't. But I drew blood. And I remember that I scarred you.
Literally.
And so we're kin, we're blood kin now. Pooh. I can't do any of this without you. So I don't want to be remembering you because sorry, dude. Just because you literally, because you say sorry, dude, in the worst places and the worst times. But let's see. I remember.
I just got that, dude.
I'm not. That's it. I can't go any. Like we're gonna leave it at that.
Good enough, dog.
I want to be remembered as a motherfucker who learned how to be more radical than her fucking anti-capitalist state ACAB Antifa employee of the month children. I want to be remembered as the one who just kept learning and wouldn't stop.
Thank you. Round 14. Go.
Onni, you're muted.
Well, I said thanks, Maura. And I said it twice. Hi, Chris. Okay. That one.
I don't even remember.
We'll try some. That one.
All right.
Okay. So, okay. So, Chris.
Turning you up.
Can you hear me?
I can. That's better.
Okay. Do you think it's weird that we're the only two people in the Great Jones Company that don't have resume pictures? Do you think it's because of our work? Okay, so do you like your job? Do you like to dance? Do you ever dance at your job? Even in these days when you're working from home, you never dance? Oh, okay. Do you think that you've learned more about immigrants since you've been working? Do you like to be a parent? Chris, do you take your daughter outside? Do you worry when she's outside? Does she wear a mask? Does she go up to other kids? And it's not terrifying? Do you like to tuck her in at night? Do you ever think about your mother when you're tucking her in at night? Did you grow up in New York? Did you grow up in Ireland? Did you grow up in South Dakota? Did you grow up in North Dakota? Did you go to public school? Did you go to private school in South Dakota, North Dakota? Did you go to school somewhere else? Were there girls in your class? Were there people of color in your class? Do you still speak to people that you knew in school? Do you ever go back to North Dakota? Do you ever think of taking your daughter back to North Dakota to show her where you grew up? Do you like chocolate?
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and damn right, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I'd have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Damn right, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and damn right, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I'd have to charge. My
One,
milkshake brings all the
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Hey,
7, 8. 1, 2,
is anyone out there?
3, 4, 5, 6,
Hello?
7, 8. 1,
Hello?
2,
Is anyone
3,
there?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Woo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Hey,
6, 7, 8. 1,
hey,
2,
is
3,
anybody
4,
there?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hello?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Hello?
6,
Are you
7,
there?
8.
Thank you, everybody. The end.